Bethany's Vintage Fairy Tale. I'm so glad you guys could be here with me today. We're going to be doing some really fun pottery inspired DIYs using a mortar mix that I picked up at Home Depot, which is super fun and easy to do. And you can create a whole bunch of different looks with it. So I'll show you guys some different pots that I've made and then some painting techniques that you can use as well and that you can translate into any kind of decor style. So I can't wait to show you guys how it all turned out. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to this channel for weekly inspirational videos, everything to do with heart, family, and home. I'd love to have you guys here, a part of my fairy tale family. So without further ado, let's get into today's video.
All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys some really fun pottery inspired DIYs using this mortar mix here that I found at Home Depot. It's really easy to use. You're going to start off with some Dollar Tree containers. Any plastic planter will do. And then you'll go ahead and pour in your mortar mix right in there and add in some warm water. And then you can kind of see here, I'll be adjusting the thickness. So adding more mix and more water until you get the right consistency. You don't want it to be too thick because it will start to clump up, but you don't want it too wet either, then it won't take the proper shape. So you kind of want a good in-between balance here. And then now I'm going to take another pot and just putting that directly inside to give it the shape that I'm looking for, and then push down. And then you want to make sure that that stays in nice and secure. So I'm just using some weights just to make sure that it stays nicely in there. And I'm going to be doing a couple different ones with some different pots. This one here has a really cool texture on the inside of the pot, which makes it turn out really, really cool and unique. And same technique, you pour in your mix and more warm water and then stir. You can see I'm using an old door hanger to stir because wooden stir sticks kept breaking in the mix because it was too thick. So you'll want something quite sturdy to use as your mixing tool. And then again, you put in your next pot and then let that set. I let mine sit overnight, and I found that was more than enough time for them to take shape. And then here, this is another one I'm going to be using. These are just some garden trays, again, found at the dollar store. And I'm kind of turning this one into more of a plate. So you see, I'll just go in more with the mix, more water, and keep stirring until you get the proper consistency. And then again, taking the second piece and putting it on top. You can see here I'm kind of moving it around just to make sure that there's no air bubbles or anything like that, and just pushing it nice and secure. And then here is how they turned out. I didn't show you guys taking them out of the plastic pots because I had a bit of a tough time getting them out because they tend to stick. So a really good tip that I did with my next set of these is I took some oil and I lined the inside of the planters before putting the mix in, and that kind of prevented the problems that I had here. You can see that there's a couple of these have cracked, and that was just because it was really hard to get them out of the container. So I highly suggest either using a Pam spray to line your containers or some oil before you go ahead and do this DIY. So learn from my mistake on that one. And then this is how the plate turned out. I actually really like the cracks in the middle. It makes it look more authentic and kind of how a real aged pot would be or plate would be. So I kind of actually like how that turned out. And then this was my second attempt using the oil that I was talking about. So this one worked a lot better. And then I also put more mix in this one to make it a little bit thicker. That's kind of why the other ones have cracks, because they were too thin. So try to make it a little bit thicker so you guys don't have that problem. And now we're going to go in with some paint. These are some chalk paints that I got from Michael's. I highly suggest chalk paint because it's thicker and you don't need to do as many coats as with like an acrylic paint. And it works really well for home decor projects. So I'm just kind of going in. I mixed two of the colors together, the pink and the cream, to kind of give it this oatmeal color. And then I didn't paint the insides because I'm probably going to put flowers and things like that so you won't see it. But of course, if you guys prefer to paint the whole thing, go completely for it. I just didn't think it was necessary because it's going to be covered anyway. Yeah, and this is how it's looking now that it's all painted. It's a really nice creamy color in person. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's a nice warm cream that will go with a lot of different decor. And so for this pot, this one cracked really badly because it was a little bit too thin and it was quite stuck in the container. So I kind of decided to lean into that and just kind of go for it. Even though it was cracked, I'm still going to make it beautiful. I had the idea of kind of, instead of hiding the crack, like turning it towards the back, to use it as the front and kind of draw attention to it, since you know, sometimes your imperfections are what kind of makes things beautiful. So I'm kind of leaning into that here and using this as the front. I mixed the pink paint and the cream paint to give it this really warm, creamy color. And then here's kind of how it's turning out. I did 2 or 3 coats on this one because this one was a little bit lighter. All right, so now we're going to go in with some gold metallic paint. And like I said, I kind of wanted to make this crack the focal piece of the pot. So I'm kind of taking the gold paint and stippling it along the top of the pot. So here now we're going to paint our little plate. I use the same paint as the other one. It's a pink and a cream that I mixed together, and doing the same thing, just coating the whole thing and then painting in those cracks as well. And for this, I'm kind of going for a similar idea, making the ugly beautiful, highlighting the cracks with the gold paint. I really like how this turned out. I kind of stippled the gold paint inside and then used my finger to kind of blend it out so that it was really even. And then I also placed gold paint along the rim as well. And this piece would be really nice to have like on a shelf. You could put maybe a tiny little decor piece on here. I draped some pearls that you're going to see later in the video, or here I just put some little peony petals that fell off one of my arrangements. So you can do a lot of different things with this, or just have a decorative in one of your kitchen cabinets would be also really pretty too. All right, so this is the next pot. This is the one again that I used the oil technique, so this one turned out a lot better. No cracks on this one. And it's got that really cool texture on the inside because of the way the pot was, so it makes it really unique. And with this, I'm using the same chalk paint, but this color is an oatmeal, so it's kind of a beigey, almost a green tint to it, which was really pretty, very earthy and natural. It would fit in with a lot of different decor styles, and you could put any kind of floral in here. It's really a good color. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys another painting technique using a makeup sponge and some brown acrylic paint. I wanted to give this pot a little bit of a different look, making it look very old and authentic with the vintage feel to it. So I'm just adding in the brown paint using a stippling motion, and then layering also some more of the cream chalk paint on top to make it very balanced and adding in that really nice texture. And if you guys wanted to change up the colors, you could totally add some black into this to make it look even darker or older, or some white if you prefer a very classic look. Or if you wanted to go ultra glam, some gold paint in here would be really pretty as well. Now the key with this is you just want to keep layering in those colors. You can see kind of here I've layered quite a bit of the brown, and I'm going back in with the cream chalk paint to bring some lightness to it, but you just want to keep layering the colors, stippling the motion with the sponge, and then yeah, just until you get the kind of look you're going for. And this is how it's all turned out. I'm so happy with the look of this. It's really different, and I love how it's got that really authentic feel to it. And the inside of the pot is so pretty. It's got that gorgeous texture that the plastic pot had. So I love how it turned out. And then here is how I styled everything. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea on how you could set this up on a table, or if you're doing a photo shoot, this would be so fun to use. I've got all of the different pots here, and then those are the vintage letters from my last video. and the gorgeous plate with the gold and the pearls draping over it. So you guys could use this for any sort of decor style with any florals you love, or you could use greenery, or even just having the pots as a decor piece. You don't even need to put anything in them. You could just have them kind of layered amongst themselves on a shelf, would be really pretty as well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm so glad you guys could be here with me today to make these cool pottery inspired DIYs. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite. If you guys have ever tried to do something like this before, let me know your thoughts and comments down below. I'm so glad that you guys could be here with me today to share my love of DIYs and everything to do with heart, family, and home. So I'd love to have you guys here. Please like and subscribe for more weekly inspirational videos. I would be absolutely honored if you would join our fairy tale family here. So glad you guys could be here with me today. I absolutely love you guys, and thank you so much for being here with me and sharing my love of DIYs and home decor. So I'll see you in a future video. Love you guys so much. Have a great day. Bye.